Hey everyone, welcome to the Daily. Today is Tuesday, July 20th. I'm Greg Lawless alongside Simon Borg. And Simon, lots going on with player movement right now. The first news that came out late last night, Jonathan Bornstein of Chivas USA is signed a pre-contract with Tigres down in Mexico, and he'll be going in January to join the Mexican First Division.
This kind of came out of nowhere. We had been hearing rumors about interest from Mexico in Bornstein, but no one thought this would eventually happen, especially with Klestjan just leaving to Anderlecht. Bornstein is their captain, and this announcement by Tigres, which forced now Chivas USA to announce it as well, puts Chivas USA in a little bit of a pickle because they need to fill that position for next year. Do you think about next year? Beginning now, if you're Chivas USA, that's the big question.
Well, you look at the way Chivas have been playing this year, and maybe they've already started to think about next year in terms of letting this happen. And Martin Vazquez revamping that side a little bit more, and maybe in the way he wants it to be since he came in as a coach. Now, another player that's on the move, but not necessarily to keep playing, Steve Ralston, one of the originals here in MLS, has announced that he will be retiring a little bit later today, right before the New England Revolution SuperLiga match.
Yeah, the reports say that Ralston is leaving the Revolution to take a position as assistant with the Houston Dynamo. We remember that John Spencer just resigned from that position. Rumors are he's going to be taking a head coaching position, possibly on an expansion team.
Well, we've talked about Ralston for many years as sort of a coach on the field, I think, and obviously one of the greats, owns a bunch of records in terms of minutes played, games played, assists as well, the all-time leading assist getter in MLS. He's had some injury struggles in the last couple of years, and when he tried to make a comeback with the Revolution this year, I think he lasted 2 minutes before he broke his elbow, I believe.
It was unfortunate, and it's unfortunate that the Revolution are losing him. If there was a player that they needed, it was someone who can play make a little bit in midfield, and they had visions of him being that player, and now with him leaving, where do they go? Luckily for them, the transfer market is open, and now they can go out and maybe look for a replacement.
Well, we were just talking about that, how New England needed that creative midfielder, weren't we? Well, there is a creative player that is going to be joining the league. We've just learned that Sal Zizzo, the U.S. Youth International, is on his way back to MLS, and on Wednesday afternoon at 5 p.m. here on MLSsoccer.com, there will be a live weighted lottery for the rights to Sal Zizzo.
Oh, Greg, Sal Zizzo is a player that we've heard of in Germany. We've heard of his time with Hanover, Steve Cherundolo's club, but we haven't seen lately. In 2007, he was part of that U20 World Cup team, and I think we have good memories of him. His speed being a big factor. He operates on the flank. And look, anytime an American youth national team player comes back from overseas, there's always going to be some excitement, you know, especially with the unknown quantity that he can be.
And maybe also some questions about why he wasn't able to stick over there, but I think that certainly MLS teams are always looking for speedy flankers, and maybe Zizzo can fit into that a little bit. Well, let's move away from the players and get into the games. There's a bunch of games going on tonight. SuperLiga Group B will finish up its group play. That's New England against Morelia. Those are the two top teams in Group B right now, and Chicago Pumas. Chicago already out of it. Pumas, they have a chance to get in depending on the result between the Revs and Morelia.
Yeah, New England wants to finish first in this group, possibly a meeting with the Houston Dynamo when they crisscross into Group A. The Dynamo right now in second place in Group A.
Well, of course, that old rivalry from MLS Cup days a couple of years ago between the Dynamo and the Revolution. Plus, if you did get the Dynamo Revolution in there, you would set up a USA Mexico MLS final for sure. In some other news, Manchester United on their tour, and they've reached Philadelphia. They're set to play the Union tomorrow night at the Link. Now that they're in Philly, they're sort of really getting into their tour, aren't they?
Yeah, and now this is where, at least for the U.S. audience, the tour starts. You know, going up against an MLS team, a lot of excitement in Philly. And with Manchester United, we're hearing that Nani could make a comeback. Obviously, the Portuguese international who missed out on the World Cup with a shoulder neck injury could be back in time now.
Well, the Philadelphia Union are playing pretty well these days. They got a great win over the weekend. Actually, this week on Extra Time Radio, we spoke with Sebastian Latou, so be sure to check that out, both on MLSsoccer.com and on iTunes. That's all we have for you for the Daily today, but we'll be back tomorrow with a little bit more.